Hello, this is Smarter Prepping with Uncle Mark, and I'm Uncle Mark. And last week, I think it was actually last week, no, on Saturday, not that many days ago, back on Saturday. Okay, first of all, back like a month ago, I took about 5 or 6 or 7, a bunch of photo albums. Been a month or 2 months ago. A bunch of photo. I'm an old guy. Lots of photo albums. Okay, and I pulled all the pictures out of all the photo albums. I threw out the photo albums. I threw out about half the pictures. That's been a month or 2 months ago. I did all that. Then last Saturday, I believe it was, I went ahead and decided to. By the way, this whole batch, everything you see in here, is the Mark and Pam pictures. Pam and I were married for 30 years. We met in 1972. We got married in 1977, and she died in 2008. Anyway, so this is the Mark and Pam batch. And what I did last Saturday, I divided it into pictures of mostly in-laws. Inside that tote on the left side, there's a stack of pictures of various other people, extended family. Pam's extended family, my extended family, right? So that's a separate category. Actual Mark and Pam pictures are all that's laid out in the bed here. And within that, I tried to get some smaller subcategories sorted out. There's just a few baby pictures of Pam. Pamela Sue as a baby. And then you see this big, we used to do big portraits over at Kmart, whatever. And then other categories, there was back in the 70s and 1977, I got a bunch of wedding pictures and pictures from around that time. Pictures from the 70, 74, 79, whatever. But mostly a lot of wedding pictures, 1977. That's one batch. That's kind of front and center, just to the left of Pam's red Mark and Pam. Anyway, point is, there's that category. Pam and I visited the site of the Oklahoma City bombing. Remember, Murrah Federal Building was in Oklahoma City was obliterated, blown up. We visited the site of that at a time when there was just kind of makeshift memorial thingadoopers on a chain link fence. Anyway, pictures of that. Pictures of my grandma's farm near Urbana, Missouri. Pam and I visited my grandmother. My grandma was born 1901. I don't know if you can see, you'll see it later on, but to the left of center, there's her wood-burning cook stove. There's a grandma sitting next to her wood-burning cook stove. And then Pam and I took a trip to Washington, D.C. back sometime in the 1980s. And so I got a bunch of pictures of that. We moved down to Houston. I got pictures of just like Texas in general. And then I got pictures of Galveston Island. Bunch of pictures from Galveston Island and the Bolivar Ferry. Seagulls. And also a picture of a house that Pam and I lived in there in Houston area. And then a picture of a mobile home. A mobile home that Pam and I lived in down in the Houston area. And then there's a bunch of pictures that just have a group of pictures I don't even know. Some of the pictures here I don't know for sure when or where they were taken. Don't know when or where. But what I'm going to eventually do, I'm going to put together some kind of album. It might be more than one. Out of all these pictures, I might need 2 or 3, I don't know. But put together big photo albums that have on the left, I plan to write on a piece of paper who, where, and when, if I know what it is. Who, where, and when. And then to the right, you'll look at the people, and you'll see. If I told you who, you know who the people are. If I told you where, you know where, what location. Was it Hays, Kansas? Houston, Texas? Hays, Kansas? Wichita, Kansas, right? And then when? You know, was it the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, or the 2000s? So, all right. So, I'm always saying, my sweet wife Tanya, like I said, Pam died in 2008. I married Tanya 2011. She died in 2022. So I'm always saying my sweet wife Tanya is no longer with us. Back in the day, she liked to say, later, Tater.